Hey everybody, welcome to Fit Tip Tuesday. I want to recap how to determine ease and then adjust for either ease or cap height or bicep length. I just want to make a sort of a checklist of order on how you're going to tackle those things when you're trying to fit your sleeve into your armhole. I just want to get a sleeve out here and just sort of number the things that you should, the order in which you should be adjusting your sleeve or working with your sleeve in your armhole. So the first thing is you want to walk your sleeve. So walking the sleeve in the armhole is the first step. After you do that, you're going to end up with, and I'm not going to walk the sleeve in this video because we did it last week. So I will put a link to that in the description below. But basically, after you walk your sleeve, and remember, use the stitching line to walk because the sleeve cap gets smaller when you move into the stitching line, and the armhole gets bigger because they're, one's a concave and one is a convex curve. So you can see the armhole gets bigger, the cap gets smaller. So make sure you're walking it on the stitching line. That's the first step. And after you do that, you're going to end up with, let's say, back, front, you're going to end up with the information you need to know about how much of the cap is taken up by the front of the armhole and the back of the armhole. Then you can determine if you need to adjust your ease. And a simple guideline, if you're working with a knit garment, you could have anywhere from, a 1/2 inch max negative ease, meaning the cap is a 1/2 inch smaller than the armhole, or you could have up to maybe 1/4, maybe a 1/2 inch of ease, meaning the cap is 1/4 or a 1/2 inch bigger. Now, bigger sizes, you can have more ease or more negative ease. Smaller sizes, less. You can also have the sleeve and the armhole be equal. Then, if you're working with a woven sleeve and armhole, I would say 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of ease, depending on the size you're working with and the style of the garment. And this is also assuming that there's no gathers in the cap when you sew it in. So you want to decide for yourself, how much ease that you need. Make a note of it. Okay, so let's say you've decided how much ease you need. Make a note of that amount and then check your bicep, because the bicep ease is completely independent or almost independent to the cap ease. So you're going to measure, let me just make seam allowances here. You're going to measure across your bicep line and compare that to your bicep measurement. If you need to add or remove bicep ease, do that next. And I showed how to do that last week. So again, check the link below to see how to add ease to the bicep line. After you adjust the ease at the bicep, then look at your cap. Look at the amount of ease you need to add, and then you need to decide whether you need to widen the cap and add ease, or you need to change the height of your cap. So measure from the tip of your shoulder to your bicep line and compare that to the height of the cap here. Okay, and the reason why I'm asking you to do the bicep first is the height of the cap changes, or it could get smaller when you widen your bicep line. So bicep is correct. Check your cap height. If that's good, then you're going to adjust your ease by adding or removing ease along the cap. If your cap is too short, you can adjust the height of the cap. The final thing you might have to do, and this could happen, depending on how much you need to add to your cap, it may end up giving you too much ease when you walk the sleeve again. So let's say you have to add a 1/2 inch to your cap. You do that, then you walk the sleeve again, and you see that the ease is a little bit too much. You can reduce the ease to make it match as a final adjustment. So I'm going to put a little slide here, and I'm going to talk through it one more time. Step 1, walk your sleeve in your armhole to see how much ease you have and decide what the change in ease needs to be. Number 2, check your bicep, compare your bicep to the pattern, and adjust the bicep if you need to do that, because the bicep adjustment can affect the cap height. It doesn't change the overall length of the cap, but it does change the height of the cap. Third, check and see whether the cap height is still correct or if you need to change it. And then walk the sleeve a second time to see if the ease is still okay. If it's not, you can either add or remove ease to make it optimal to fit into your armhole. So those are the steps that I would use to adjust your sleeve and your cap, well, your cap to fit into your sleeve, and that's the order I would do it. Because I did throw a lot of things at you the past 2 weeks, and I just wanted to give you an order in which to do these things.